Hey, let's go. It's the Cowboys cast, baby. Hey, y'all already know. It's exciting, man. We're dwelling down to the season. We got Jerry in the house. He's in the building. We got Ali in the building. All right, gentlemen. I don't care who starts first. I know there's 3 games left, considering we are playing tonight too. What do we think so far? And with all the news going around, what do you think, Jerry?
I mean, I think we're just talking pregame, right? I mean, Cowboys. I mean, we're starting to see that they're actually trying. They're actually looking like they're doing pretty good. That some of the wheels are starting to turn the way they should have been at the beginning of the season. But here we are at the back end of the season. Let's see how it goes. And yeah, let's go, Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, hey, going off that as well, you kind of ask yourself, like, where was this the first 8 or 9 games, of the season, the recent stretch they've had. But look, I think these players know they're not going into this game with a losing mentality. Let's play, to lose and get a higher pick and all. No, they're going to go in still wanting to win this game and show that they can still compete with. You look at the next 3 games, these are 3 of the best teams in the NFL that you're going up against, over the next 3 weeks. So they still want to end the season off on a good note.
Yep. 3 more games left, man, especially tonight. Big game tonight. So real quick, inactives, we got Jalen Brooks is inactive. TJ Bass is inactive. Eric Kendricks is inactive. Wayne Thomas is inactive. Deuce Vaughn is inactive. Tyrus Wheat is inactive. And Justin Rogers is inactive. As we're going over the inactives, right? Obviously, we got news past week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever you want to call it. Trayvon Diggs is out, man. And it looks like he might not be back till, I believe, mid-season, late season next year. What are your thoughts, Jerry?
I mean, it's almost like the whole Overshown. It's just like back-to-back weeks. It's like, wow, you know what I mean? And Overshown was, I mean, he looks like he could be a superstar in the NFL. And I mean, we know what Trayvon Diggs can be in the NFL. So I mean, they're big blows, especially for what a lot of Cowboys Nation is doing, right, is putting their hope on in the next year, right? Because this year, officially being eliminated from the playoffs, I mean, there you go.
But like you said, Jerry, so are the Niners.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I forget about the 49ers? Bang, bang, right?
Yeah. What's up, Ali?
No, hey, you know what? I mean, it kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth for next year because it's like, man, 2 of your best defensive players won't be there likely for week 1, beyond that too. So it's definitely tough. But, hey, I kind of look at it this way too. I mean, any guys that kind of go into these next couple of games banged up, depending, on the situation long term, if you have to shut guys down, you got to shut guys down for a purpose and you want them healthy for next year too. But just not the star you already want for 2025, knowing 2 impactful players, especially, with the Cowboys. I mean, it's like the NFL always throws them into a tough slate of games or, kick off the season with a high opponent. And so, we'll see how that unfolds.
Yeah, this season was a really tough schedule. John on TikTok says our conditioning coach needs replaced also.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of replacement coming, so stay tuned on that.
All right, what's that, Jerry?
No, go ahead. I was gonna say, do you think it's gonna be like a complete, let's just blow it all up?
I mean, look, Jerry will do a lot of things. My thing is, if McCarthy was to be retained, there's certainly going to be a lot of blown up on the staff. In my opinion, there's no way you go into next year keeping the same core intact. There definitely will be changes, as far as the coaching staff goes. But yeah, I mean, if McCarthy were to be let go, that I think that signals that there's going to be a big blow up because obviously the new coach is going to come in and make a whole bunch of changes too.
Well, the reason why I ask is because Al Harris has been a name that people have been wanting to see get, his name get out there. And I mean, Al Harris, I mean, Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland, I mean, they play like him.
They do.
Yeah. Richard Verdugo says, hey, compas, what are your thoughts on what we will do this offseason? What moves do you want to see? And what do you think will actually happen? Ali, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think for starters, you have to kind of think of who are the cap casualties for this team. And, one guy I'm looking at right now is Terrence Steele. I don't think he's a Dallas Cowboy. next season. I think Tyler Guyton could likely kick over to that spot. That might obviously that's going to put questions in there at left tackle. Whether they go to the draft or they kick Tyler Smith out there because you really like what you've seen out of guys like T.J. Bass and Brock Hoffman as well. So there's definitely going to be some shuffling on the O-line, but you really have to get a number 2 wide receiver. It's Brandon Cooks is a free agent. Jalen Tolbert, he has been held to below 50 yards every game since that, big game he had against Pittsburgh, and just not the production they, hoped for, as far as him being a high draft pick a couple years ago. So I really think you're looking there, and also some depth on the defensive front. A lot of injuries up there, and the question is DeMarcus Lawrence going to be back next season?
Well, they shut him down for the season too, right?
They have. That is, yes. I don't anticipate him coming back, and they drafted Nealon for a reason. Who knows if they go into next draft with another high draft pick up front there. So a lot of question marks there, but they definitely got to get deeper on the defensive front and kind of make those adjustments on the offensive line for the better.
Let me get these comments in before Jerry goes. Maddie says, "Hey guys, it's been a while." Thanks, Maddie. Liz says Al Harris would be a nice head coach. So go ahead, Jerry. Your take on it.
Well, just I guess to kind of piggyback off that last little thing, I think Al Harris, I would like to see him in a defensive scheme or see what kind of defensive scheme he would bring in. But I think I'm kind of curious. In the beginning, it seemed like they were frustrated with how the season was going, and it looked like they were going to move forward. I thought for a moment, I know Kendall, shout out Kendall, right? Ken's Pat Talk. Me and him talked on the phone for a good minute. And he was saying, I don't know, man. I think I might become a Cowboys fan, be a part of this Cowboys nation if Bill Belichick comes into town. And I was like, I don't know about how I feel about, Bill Belichick. I know he's the winningest coach of all time. I think he might have passed him. And then, boom, he takes off. He did sell me on it. I was like, you know what? I think this could work. You're right. It could probably work. But I think at the very end, I think it all starts, what are the Cowboys going to do? Are we going to move forward with McCarthy? How much are you going to give him? How much are you going to give him, right? How much of the keys are you going to let him drive the car around? Are you going to let him buy the groceries? That old clip that you can find of Bill Parcells, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think it's one of those things. I think it's kind of hard, but of course, I think that we need a new offensive scheme. I think we need to do a new defensive scheme. We thought that the problem in defense lied in Dan Snyder, but look, these commanders these commanders, they don't want to go away,
They don't.
But at the very end, I think if the Cowboys can just go back to the basics, and that starts with running the ball, and I think that they need to make that a focal point going into this offseason. So I would, hey, I'm on the hype train. I would like to see a rookie like, I don't know how to say his name, but the kid from Boise State.
Ashton Genty.
Yeah, Genty. Yeah. So, with him, he looks like he doesn't need much of an offensive line. He looks like a very creative running back. It looks like he can make his own lanes. I think that's what the Cowboys need. But we'll see. New offensive scheme, new defense scheme. I think it starts with the basics. Go back to the run and go Cowboys.
Andrew on TikTok says, "Man, I'm hoping we get that running back which you were talking about, Jerry, Genty." So yeah, so they're talking about it. P Sauce in the building. He says, when is Jerry going away? That's the problem. Maddie says, any first round upsets in the playoffs? We'll get to that, Maddie. Let me get to these comments real quick. Here we go. Jay Fonda says, fellas, what's going on, man? Richard Verdugo says, what about the draft? What do you want to see there? And how do you go about improving the running back position? And then we'll go with Jay Fonda. I never wanted Belichick because I didn't want Patricia as DC and McDaniels as OC. I think, hey, a lot of people had said that I've talked to. They're like, we're okay with Bill Belichick coming at the time. But they said, we don't want the coordinators though. That's kind of weird, but everybody asking these questions, but go ahead, Ali.
They make a point because he's at North Carolina. I mean, he brought in his son. I don't know if you guys saw that, to be the
today
coordinator. Yeah. And then he brought in Michael Lombardi to be the GM of the program. So he's already bringing in his former Patriots with him. Yeah,
but I kind of like his son as defensive coordinator. I think he did a great job at Washington State, to be honest. I really did. I liked him. But let's go with what about the draft? What do you want to see? Is is the chance of them getting a running back legit, or with what they see Rico Dotto did this year at the tail end of the year, is that a long gone possibility? Ali?
I mean, potentially, but if they want to bring back Dowdle, I don't think his market price is going to be a very high one when you consider, like, it's not like he's been doing this the whole season. This is a recent stretch of games, but yes, it could be a good play to go with as well, to bring him back, especially if he ends up these final 3 games, I think are a good test as well, because you're playing, 3 very good opponents. So if he extends that streak to, 3 games to 4 to 5 to 6 games to end the season, I really think you do want to bring him back. But, I understand if Ashton Genty's sitting right there and you feel like he makes your team better, and I know that's a hard prospect to pass up on. I think every couple of drafts we do get that one running back that, I understand the rule. Don't take a running back in the first round for X, Y, and Z reasons. But there are some of those guys like Ashton Genty it's really hard to pass up on.
Look at Jahmyr Gibbs. He was a high. He went high in
12 pick.
And they questioned that pick too.
And I don't think anybody expected. I think he was more of a 15 to 22 kind of player, and they went up and got him at 12, man, because they thought he was that special.
Well,
so
you can also throw Bijan Robinson from the Falcons. Didn't he go top 10?
Yep.
So, and we did cover this on the Cowboys cast earlier on in the season, right? We said that the NFL, as much as we want to see the air flying, to the wide receivers, it's still a rushing attack, and I think the numbers speak for itself, right? Every team was averaging 218 passing yards, and all the winning teams are rushing for over 225 rushing yards. So we've got to go back to the basics.
We do definitely. Before I get to these questions, let's get into the game. All right, so this game, right? Obviously, the Cowboys have been eliminated, so we're not going to the playoffs. But so are the Niners, and I'm going to keep saying that just for everybody to understand what's going on and what the situation is around the NFL as well. But so the Cowboys are eliminated. What do you want to see in this game, offensively, Ali, Jerry, and whoever goes first? Not only offensively, but the offensive line, Matt. What do you want to see from them specifically, and then just the offense?
Go ahead, Jerry. It's all you.
Well, it's kind of hard. The more you win, the lower your draft pick goes, right? So we're in this taboo state right now as a Dallas Cowboy fan, where we're like, come on, Cowboys, what are we doing here? We've been picking in the 15 to 20 for the last 20 years. We gotta know when we need some superstars on this team. Obviously, the Cowboys have superstars; they do a great job drafting. But I think it's time to bring in some real star power that you don't have to draft and develop right away. I think you need some impact players, and we had one at Travis Hunter, but I think he's already out of our range. So, that could have been a 2-for-1 steal right there. But ultimately, I would like to see a healthy game first and foremost. I've been seeing, the last couple of weeks, it feels like the entire NFL is being complete. A bunch of these NFL players are just being injured, real big time injuries. Look at Tank Dell. That was horrific.
Yeah. Dave Montgomery.
I would like to see something come off. Some bright spot. Hopefully, a name can make himself. Somebody can make a name for themselves, whether it be on the offensive line, maybe on the defensive line. It'd be nice to kind of see that. And of course, like I said, no injuries and a valiant Cowboys victory.
No, 100%. Hey, you want to see, the guys like the Brock Hoffmans and the TJ Basses, they get their opportunities to continue to play well. I'll give you that confidence, moving forward as well, which you have in those two. But the Buccaneers have really struggled to cover the pass this season too. They've surrendered 23 touchdowns and 247 yards per game through the air. So still think this is a game where you're like, hey, get CeeDee Lamb the ball and just let 88 continue to fly and let him play. He's looked really good the last 2 games, and at least give the fans something to cheer for who, are still paying, for these tickets to go in. So, at least let 88 do his thing. But you know, as soon as the team got eliminated, fans took to Twitter, and we actually wrote on this over at SI. Go check out all the content there. Fans are calling for Trey Lance to start these last couple of games. I mean, you have nothing to lose at this point, and you still want to see, was that 4th round pick even worth the investment? And it really hasn't been, obviously, but I think that's what a lot of fans want to see there. But yeah, from the offensive line, you're looking for some of those guys to, finish strong, get CeeDee Lamb the ball. And above all, I still want to see them feed Rico Dowdle, because you still want to, really kind of convince yourself that, hey, we got to bring back Rico next season. And the way he finished off the season strong, and this is the time to do it against, one of the more better teams in the league as well.
All right, we got some comments on TikTok. Don Wood says, no free agent wants to play for Dallas. We're the laughing stock of the league. Case Fest says, y'all gave all the draft money to... No, I'm not going to say that. JV says, for a decade, been picking at end of the round. Makes it tough when you have to get lucky. He's basically confirming what Jerry said about picking freaking at the end of the first round. Don Wood says, we seen Trey in preseason. Did you not watch? I think they're talking to you, Ali.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's preseason. I get it, but again, you traded a 4th round pick for him. You throw him out there. What do you have to lose at this point?
Yeah, I think everybody's agreeing with you, Ali. They're saying, I've been saying that, give Trey Lance a chance. Trey Lance a chance. Play Trey Lance. Okay. What I've been thought the Cowboys were going to win Super Bowl. What happened? Well, I don't think we said that on here, right, Jerry? I think we said it was going to be a very tough season.
I mean, we're Cowboys fan. Every year's our year. Come on now. You already know the rules. I mean, you tuned into the channel.
Man.
You already know the rules, man.
That's what I was gonna wait for. So real quick, I'll go up these comments. Jay Fonda says, what are the chances Ben Johnson comes in, not if, but when McCarthy gets canned? Real quick notes on that.
Yeah, I still think it's a slim chance. I don't know if you guys saw that crazy play they ran today with Goff and Gibbs both purposely falling down, and then it ended up in a touchdown. That was insane. I just don't know if a young coach like that is going to be able to mesh well with ownership of the Cowboys, let alone more veteran, experienced coaches like McCarthy haven't really had any success with that. So I'm not sure if Ben Johnson sees it as, hey, my first head coaching job, this is the team I want to go to. And really there's going to be, I think, better situations opening up.
I mean, I'll add to that. I mean, I think this is where Jerry Jones needs to look at himself in the mirror and just be like, you know what? I think we need to bring someone in like Ben Johnson. I think he has some unique characteristics with his play calling. Like you said, the little details that he pays attention, he gets his players to buy in. I mean, I've seen some crazy plays called off of it looked like, it fooled me. It looked like a rushing play. It ended up being like a play action pass, but ended up turning into a tight end screen. I was like, how the heck do you do this? And they ended up having like 3 blockers down the field too. I'm like, I don't understand this, but it's this type of play calling. Like you said, he understands how to attack these defenses. It'd be the smartest pick to do. I did see on Bleacher Report, it was his quote where he said that he would like to see the layout of the team, and if the team would allow him to make corrections on for the team, which, it kind of gives Cowboy fans a little bit of hope, right? Like, okay, was he directing that towards the Cowboys? But I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of teams that, like you said, there's a lot of interested teams that will bend the knee to the coach, which is as it should be. So we'll see. I think Ben Johnson is kind of like, if you really know, you know that's not the type of head coach that we can land for obvious reasons.
Hey, real quick, round applause to Joshua. He sent some roses. I think he sent like 8 of them. Thank you, Joshua. We appreciate it, man. Thomas says more diverse play calling needs to be done in Dallas. Says let's go Cowboys. What else we got? Dallas only selling empty hopes, dreams, sell the team. I don't know about that. We got we got Porsche. Mike Porsche did say, yeah, no more injuries. And Mike Porsche also says, see what Lance. I think everybody's on the Lance train, man. They want to see what Lance has got. You spend a 4th round, might as well, like you guys said. Jay Fonda says Ben Johnson wants a Dallas job. That's why he stayed in Detroit till McCarthy got fired. That's what I say to myself. That's what he says to himself. And then somebody on TikTok did say, watch out for Ben Johnson to Chicago with Caleb Williams. That's pretty interesting.
I actually saw that report earlier. I think they said he was actually interested in it.
Mike Porsche says Jerry Jones definitely needs to look in the mirror, but I don't think he has one. Awesome. All right, let's get into predictions, man. What do y'all think about these predictions? Give me your prediction. So I want a bold prediction that you think might happen, outrageous, above the average, and then your score prediction, gentlemen.
What's 47.5? That's the spread right now. The over under.
Yep, 47.5.
Buccaneers are -4.
Yes. Predictions.
I mean, it's kind of hard, right? Because I think I kind of laughed. I was like, "Oh, Cooper Rush going to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions." That's what he's been doing, guys. Like, I mean, how bold does it get to that? So, I mean, I'll say, I guess, give me Cooper for 350 passing 350 passing yards, 50 attempts, and 3 TDs, no interceptions tonight.
All right. There you go. Hey, I mean,
okay.
I see.
Do I have to go Cowboys? I'm kidding. Of course I have to go Cowboys. 27-20 Dallas Cowboys.
Man, Jerry, you actually took the words out of my mouth.
That's why we should be spending so much time in the
I was going to say the same. I just kind of see a similar type performance or type of game like we saw against Cincinnati because, you know, I'm liking what Tampa's doing offensively. They're actually top 5 in nearly every category on offense. So they definitely have one of the best offenses in the league. Baker's playing really well. I mean, you got to give it. And he's really revived his career over there at the Buccaneers. But I can also see a performance where Micah Parsons and his defensive front can get after him as well. I'm going to go 5 sacks tonight for this Cowboys defensive front. I think they lay it all out there. And Micah's hungry. Micah's annoyed with all the talk of, hey, let's get the higher draft pick. He talked about it on his podcast. He wants to get out there and win no matter what it takes. I think the Cowboys defense, though, really gets after it, you know, here tonight. But I'm kind of in a similar score range as well, the 27-20 type game. But, you know, I want to say Cowboys. I want to say CeeDee Lamb has a great night. But, again, Tampa's offense, I'm liking what they're doing. But if the defense can, you know, do their thing, I think Dallas can get it. But I still got to give the edge over to Tampa for tonight. They're playing for a lot here tonight.
Andrew says we need a bigger defensive line. Matty says Bucks 30, Cowboys 22, closer than expected. That's his score. Repa says nothing would make more sense than Cowboys winning 47-12. Okay. Liz, do you see a pick 6 tonight? Okay. Repa says Audrey will kick for the NFL records and win games 67, 68, 70. That's pretty bold, man.
I really thought he was going to hit that. What was it? 71?
70.
Yeah.
70.
It's decisions like that make me wonder if McCarthy should even be our coach.
I mean, if he made it.
Ali, you can say all you want. If I was a head coach in the NFL and you gave my kicker a 7, I'm doing it.
But at the chance of a kick return at half, I mean, I can understand if it was like a 20-7 or you're up by 3 scores, but it was a 10-7 game. I was a little iffy on that decision.
It'd be kind of cool if the Cowboys did something like what's his name from the Chargers head coach?
Harbaugh?
Jim Harbaugh. Yeah.
Harbaugh.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Evans, 2 TDs over 100 yards. Dallas loses 35-14. Okay. Alex Lopez says we need a higher draft pick. We need to lose because, like Dak said, we. I'm not gonna say that, but okay. So for my prediction, man, I don't know, man. This is gonna be a tough game. I think Tampa Bay does really well stopping the run. So I am on Jerry's side. I do think Cooper Rush is gonna throw for a lot. I don't know about I think CeeDee Lamb's going to go off, man. I think, like Ali said, they're not very good against the pass. I think CeeDee Lamb's going to have something like 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, maybe 3. So that's my bold prediction. He's going to get closer to 200. I think CeeDee's just going to go off. And I think at Cowboy Stadium, I think, like you said, Mike, I think they're going to follow Micah, and I think the score is going to be close, but I think it's going to be 34-31 Cowboys with Aubrey kicking a field goal, and I'm hoping it's a record-setting field goal indoors. So that's my prediction for all of you. Hey, last-minute words, man. We got like 1 minute left. Jerry?
It's been a tough season for us. All of us, right? Cowboys Nation. So I just think that let's just continue to be annoying Cowboys Nation that we can. Go and blast it. Every year is our year on all your social medias. Well, please give us follows right here. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe, leave us comments. If you're watching on the replay, if you do, thank you. Give Ali, what's your Twitter handle? Your X handle. I'm sorry.
Yep, at Ali Jawad 024, and then follow us Dallas Cowboys on SI.
Ali, any last words?
Last words on my end. I mean, hey, look, this game aside, I know, still back-to-back games with 2 division rivals. How awesome would it be to play spoiler to the Eagles and Commanders and just spoil their plans and prevent Philly from getting that number 1 seed? At least would be a warm sight for Cowboys fans.
It's a nice little nudge, right? Just remember who Big Brother is, right?
Mike Porsche says Christmas special tomorrow at 4 p.m. on TikTok. Me and Jerry will be going live tomorrow on Mike Porsche's podcast.
Do that
for sure. Look, man. Last words. Do I want to win? Maybe. I would like that draft pick, though. I'm not gonna lie. But I do want the Cowboys to win. Look, at the end of the day, like Jerry said, I think everybody needs to come out of this healthy, man. We don't need nobody out for the year and playing back in midseason next year. So as long as everybody's healthy back, I don't care what happens. But go Cowboys, right? Hey, thank you. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Hey, it's the Cowboys cast, baby. We appreciate you all. TikTok, as always, I always let you go first. Hey, keep it real, TikTok. Thank you for coming on live with us. Till next time. All right, YouTube, Facebook, we appreciate you guys. Hey, have a great night. Go Cowboys. Keep it real.